So welcome to Finco Chronicles. It's been a while since. Uh, I hope everybody get me right now. Everybody can hear me. Just checking. So, okay. All right. Welcome you guys. Welcome to the channel. I see the channel has grown up. It's been a while since the last streaming. Since I was busy. So I'll do my best here. I had a couple of comments. Many people really want me to complete some of my projects, and they really enjoy it, and they want me to go ahead and complete it because maybe they want to use it. And some of you have been interested to Alpha Zero. Um, I'm gonna work on that also. Maybe the next video, next streaming. So I welcome you guys. Welcome. Join the channel, subscribe, and yeah. So today we are going to work on our system. Uh, we are building an AI trading bot. This is for financial market and it's for investment purpose. The project will be based on we'll have three stages. We'll have the free version. We'll also have the pay version. Um, for the free version, the license will be published on GitHub for anyone may want to download and keep moving forward with the project because I'm going to share some of the repository. And for the pay version, you guys will have to get the license and subscribe. And yeah, because it's gonna be more consistent and more uh, managed. You'll have more control on every aspect of the project. It's going to be a full ready for financial market. Okay, as I say, welcome to FinCode Chronicles. Here we are building software for finance market. We are sharing events and struggle. So um, this is MT4 MetaTrader. This is the platform that many investors are using um, over the world, around the globe. Many professional investors have to say that. Because if you know nothing about investment and this is not the place for you, uh, this is the platform where any big investor for forex market or international market, as you say, will work on. He provide enough visual of what's currently happening on the market, and he has so many customization tool. That's why investor like it, even though it's so old, because he has no new feature. He has so many. Uh, it's called primary low level language. So many low level programming language. So it's really hard for someone who just jump with Python to come here and start working on it, because it takes time to learn the skill to understand how the low level language work, how the computer interact with different components in order to be able to be uh, code on this project. So today we are building MT4 Predict Server, and MT4 Predict Server, what it is a component is it is a layer of three software. I can say it like that. The first software is responsible to manage the interaction with TensorFlow and the AI prediction server. The second one is a bridge that will help connect all the data that we have from this platform on this MT4 or MT5 is a bridge that will help us interact with MetaTrader 4 or 5. And this bridge is another type of software that we are going to build and use on the system. The last one is this platform is the MetaTrader MT4 Predict Server, which is an EA. It's not just a simple EA. It's an EA. It's a very complex EA because he has to handle all the logic that will be all the logic that we use by the server to interact with the external API, as you can see. And not only that, he has to transfer all the data received from the exchange to the backend server. So the goal of this EA is only to get data, share to the backend server. Once the server receives the data, it will make some analysis. But before he even share the data, it will share the data through, it will pass those data through the bridge. The software bridge will handle all the data, it will process it, and once it's done, the bridge will send those data back to the server, and the server will reply back to the bridge. The bridge will bring those data back to the MT4 server. So it's a complex chain of transmission that we have to deal with here, since MT4 does not provide enough support for the low-level languages interaction with external API. I've looked around, I've tried to use the 0MQ to work on that, to work with. The 0MQ is this software that allows us to interact with the MT4 with an external API. But it's slow and it doesn't really work as I was expected. So I had to come up with a new idea and develop my own project, my own software to interact with this and have a better result, a really professional level result here. So uh, this is the reason why I'm here working, because I had a couple of customer that was asking about it. The last time I published the Telegram Signal Trader on this platform, Telegram Signal Trader, I had a lot of people really love it. I see my repository has gained many stars, many reviews also. So I appreciate that. If you like it on the repository, put your thumbs up, share it, and it makes the work count. Even though we are not getting paid for it right now. Uh, so if you like the content of this video, please put your thumbs up, share it, encourage us to keep doing what we are doing. Okay, let's put your comment, put your thumbs up if you have new idea. Also share it in the comment section. I will really appreciate it. If you see maybe how I can improve it, let me know. This is something that really makes sense. It's something that can help anyone out there, not only me, but many people. It's been many years now. It has been many years has passed since the last streaming. Um, and many things have changed over the last year also. So I'm back, and I'd like to enjoy this moment with you as long as my availability will allow me to do so. So thank you. As I say, the transmission protocol, if I can sketch it so that you guys can see. Let's see what's paint. So this is what's gonna happen here. So this is MT4 or MT5. So everybody will have kind of the idea, some idea about what's going to happen here. Um, Let me see if I can draw that better. So here we have MT4. I'm going to do the next one. This is the bridge. Plus, this is a system engineering that's I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm designing the system here. How it's gonna look like. Uh, what's gonna happen. Okay, so as you can see here, um, here looks like this is not the right color. Let's see. So this, this is MT4. Or MT5. Okay. The problem we currently have is that the MT4 environment and MT4 environment is not consistent. It's not uh is is too low. It has a very low level language that is not supported by most environment that we have currently have today. So it means like some of the functions you may want to have to run your system, your trading system, are not available on MT4. But you love MT4, you love MT5 because they provide you a good service for your investment. So as a developer, not as a developer, as a system engineer, I want to resolve that issue. My goal is to solve that issue, to solve that problem. For that, there are many options. I can leverage the power of the buffer of the computer memory, or I can leverage the power of the HTTP protocol, or even better, I can leverage the power of the socket transmission or the TCP protocol. Or if possible, I can use the proto concept, the, the proto concept where we have some prototype that interacts with the socket. I can use that as well. I know it's a different concept. It may be a little bit misunderstood by some people who don't understand it. It's not for everybody. Anyway, um, I can leverage those protocols so that and find a way to better interact with this platform MT4, MT5 to resolve the current problem that traders or new uh, EA developer have. So they will be able to use to develop their own strategy, integrate their AI, artificial intelligence in it based on their own strategy and continue to use their MetaTrader, the MT4 platform or MT5 platform. This will be a better, more beneficial. This will be really beneficial for them. To solve that problem, I came up with one solution. Uh, I was thinking about interacting with the buffer, the memory buffer, because um he has no overlay and almost like zero latency, like about like a 12 milliseconds of latency. But I had issue with that protocol because it didn't work as expected. Uh, Sometimes he had conflicts. There were some component that were transmitting some data one at a time. It was not something that were trustworthy. Sometimes it transmit my data, sometimes it didn't. So I had to figure out what was wrong. And I found out that it was the protocol itself using the buffer memory directly that was wrong. So I put that strategy out of my table. I changed it and try another way. I was trying to use the HTTP protocol. Even with that one also, it was the worst. Uh, the delay and latency that could happen between and the MT4 and the server, which is this one. This server can be any Python or Java server, so it doesn't really matter as long as the transmission of data goes through. It can even be C, so it doesn't really matter. So let me just write rare server so that we don't get confused right here. Um, yeah, server look a bit like a 5. I'm sorry, I'm writing with my mouse now. It's like crazy. Uh, well, let's say just assume that this is a server. This is the center of intelligentsia where all the requests will be sent and the response will go back. Here, you can have a blue color here. It's the bridge, a very sophisticated system that can also do an HTTP protocol. I mean, that can interact with the web as well. But it can do that independently of the system. It doesn't really depend on the system of the system. It doesn't depend on the system. So it's itself is another software, but it has to be combined with different compiler in order for them to work. So I came up with this solution. If you like it, put your thumbs up, subscribe. Uh, for more content like this, I really appreciate it. Trying to select these things like it won't let me do that. Anyway, let me select this. Here we have a bridge. See, it's kind of hard to work with the mouse. Um, okay, so this is what will happen. MT4 and MT5 will send data to the bridge. The bridge will process those data, use the JSON, and transform those data into JSON, and send those data back to the server. The server will reply back by answering those requests, send those data back to the bridge. The bridge will use the JSON, send the data in JSON data to MT5 or MT4. It will do that back and forth, back and forth, all the time with almost zero latency. To resolve that issue, because of the low level language that we have on MT4, MT5, I've tried to use the file system first. The file system meaning like MT4 can write files, it can write files, it can write data through files, send it through the server, and then send it back to MT4 to open order and so on. But that system is not efficient. It's not efficient. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it doesn't. The failure it's not really efficient. That's what I say. It's not really efficient. So you see, I've already eliminated how many? 3 cases. I've eliminated the 3 cases of issue that we had here on this program. So another idea that I got was to use the DLL, the dynamic link library, uh, to leverage the C program a C++ program to externalize the data via the C sharp, the C protocol. So I build up the system, the entire system that can interact both with Telegram, this one, can interact with Telegram, can interact with Telegram. It can also interact with HTTP protocol. It's obvious if it can interact with Telegram, it can also do the HTTP. That's what it means. So I don't really need to mention that. So just like if you want news, you can have the news there for your data feed and so on to feed your strategy with news and so on. So the Telegram protocol is there, and it managed to change the data and so on. It's hard for me to write here like that because there's a mouse here. It's really hard. Doing my best, sorry. So it will transform those data via this bridge, send it back and forth. And then once MT4 and MT5 receive the signal to either enter or exit the market, it will open the order directly instead of waiting and so on, or doing everything on the EA. So the system is such a way that it makes sure that the MT4 remain a very lightweight for a faster iteration and the speed. This is crucial in financial market. You don't want to have too much or too many overload uh, on the EA. It's just an EA. It is there to execute a simple strategy. That's all. Expert advisor. That's what it stands for. Expert advisor. When I say EA, I mean expert advisor. The expert advisor is this. You can see that right there. Expert advisor. Okay. So this is what we are going to keep working on. I've already started working on it. So I'm just trying to let you know what I'm working on it so that you can have a broad view of what we'll be doing and you won't be surprised of the outcome, let's say. So this bridge is built for via the dynamic link library for Microsoft. This is the Visual Studio Code 2022. I built the entire bridge right here, and I won't be able to show everything right there because it's a very sophisticated system, so I won't have to share everything here. But in fact, you can get that through the repository. Think if you like it, I will share the link below. You can get that through it, yeah, or if you go to GitHub, you just type MT4PredictServer. You'll find the beginning of my project there. Um, okay, so let's get started. Here, this is the meta editor for MT4. This is where developer use to develop the strategy that we have. So I've developed that bridge, and that bridge is called, you guys can see here, MT4 Project Bridge. This is the DLL. This DLL can be used on Python, on Java, or on C++. So there's no way that you will say like it's not working or whatever. There's no way. This has been proven to be and tested, yeah, to be working. It can be placed on any environment, but this one has to first be integrated with the MT4 environment. This is very, very important because MT4 can import DLL via this import words, import component. He can import those functions, virtualize them, and make sure that they interact almost like at runtime, like it was on the system before. So he will use with the bytecode, use the bytecode to do that. You can see I've created some functions here. This is read from buffer. This one read directly through the buffer. First of all, before you get connected, if you don't want, you can leave this init socket right there. You can leave it without even using it. It's still connected. But if you want to use like a remote server or something like that, maybe you have your expert advisor on the VPS, and then you have another one in another areas, maybe the server. You want to have it somewhere else. Then you have to change the host name and port and so on and adapt it to your environment so that they always work. They will always find your route. So it will read the JSON. This is the JSON message. It will read the JSON and you receive the JSON message right there. You can see that here I'm not using I'm not using a regular string to work on it. This is for a reason. It has a very, very good reason. And receive JSON. You can see the receive function you were maybe expecting, maybe that this is going to be a string, but it's a void. Uh, it, it has to be that way because there's an internal protocol that goes behind the scene that will not work if I return a string here. The C environment on Visual Studio doesn't work as the same with the MT4 environment. So for example, C environment does not take string, it takes character. It transform anything that is called string as a character, as a constant of characters, and so on. Uh, and for that, you have to store those characters inside the memory. Or if you don't want to store them, you can define them as a const environment in the DLL, as a const string or const something character, but not a string. You should not use a string. If not, it won't. If you do, it won't display on the screen, or it will display with some errors. With some error, maybe missing data, missing characters. You figure out what I'm talking about if you work on it. So now we receive our data. Once you call this function, the goal of this function is to return the response via the response array. And the size, you have to uh, define the type of size. I mean, the size of the buffer you want to receive. If you want to receive a bigger size, then you have to adjust this number so that it match the array size you want to get. I mean, the amount of data you want to get. This is mostly for people who want to improve this. That's what I'm saying. Uh, if I were using this, for example, cons, as you can see here, I've defined this place in a socket. I've used a string here. I've used a string here because I've already defined in my DLL the environment has a const character. So the const character read the whole value of this host instead of only one. it will read all because I use a pointer to store all the value that are contained in this in this attribute. So the port is right there. Also, the port is an integer. It doesn't change in the background of the DLL. The send JSON message is also there. It doesn't change. There's the character you can see here on MT4. You have to mention because this is a pointer. It's stored inside the memory buffer. You have to use an end this sign to mean as a to mark it as a reference because it to use it as a reference to mean like to tell the memory that you want to access those data as a reference, not as a number. It goes in the buffer and check what location this particular data reside at runtime. So I guess you understand what I mean. So if you like it, if you like what the content, please subscribe. Your thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, to receive the data, say you read, you have to use to define a variable called character with an array. You define the size, and then you just have to call this function. Once you call the function, you put those data inside the array the array value that you just created. You enter the buffer size you want to receive with, maybe 4096, 4496, for example. This is the size of the memory you want to allocate for this data. Or 256, depending on you. So because this function can be used not only for the server, it can also be used to interact with other programming logic. Like maybe you want to use it in Java. Maybe you have a Java program. You want to interact. You want to be able to send data via Java with that, or to maybe send data via Java and do something with Java and send those messages back to from Java to here. This is what you will do. You will use this function via the DLL on Java or the socket protocol. You will use the protocol via Java and you'll be fine. And once you use that, you'll be fine. You will receive all the data you want. Okay. You can see that I've been working on this for some time now. It takes a lot of time and strategy to get along this, but it's for a good reason because this, if you want to be on the game for a long time, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. You should invest your time on it to understand what's going on and build a system that works for you, not for anybody else, but for you. And if you want, you can share it, you can trade it, and have an earning out of it. Uh, that will be much beneficial, and I will be proud of that. Even if you earn something out of what I'm sharing right now, let me know. That would be really appreciated. I have no issue with that. I really love when everybody earn a living out of whatever I'm also doing, and it makes sure that uh, everybody stay in good shape. That would be my great contribution in this whole world and this society. Okay. Uh, yeah. On this strategy, we can use volatility. We can use uh, So as you can see over the time, this function is the function responsible to handle the trade. You can see here that I have the send JSON message, meaning like if anytime that sorry about it, meaning that if at any time anytime I don't have enough money or margin, uh, the system will send those message back to the server so that you can read and know what's going on your expert advisor. Those inside are very important if you want to have a remote control on the system. Um, this function check if you are connected. It check if the trade are not busy, if the context of your trade is busy or not before you open the trade. This one is there to count the number of tickets you already have and so on. And this one check if there's an error. This is what's happened. It notify you for what happened. So this is how you will handle if you want to send data from here, from this send JSON or receive JSON message. This is how you do. You have to transform the string to a character array. The string is this sum of text that you have here. You transform all this string, this one, only this part, and put that inside this message with S at the end. The message with S at the end represent a character array. A character array is just this one, the character with a memory uh, message like this. This is a character array, and there you you don't have to specify the size because the size will be determined by the length of this string. I hope you understand what I mean. The length of the string will determine the size of the string, meaning when this string to character array will manage to process the data that it has on the string section and feed the message this array. It will put all those data inside each one of those array. So it will increase the size of the array by himself. So why the function is more valuable here. And that's the only way you can send those data without loss. If you use the const character or a string directly, you have your loss. You lose your data via the DLL because the DLL doesn't manage string right there via the MT4. Okay, so here we have this manage open order function, which is there to manage any trailing breaking system and so on, stop loss system reversal. This function is there to manage the lot size, calculate the lot size based on your risk level and so on. You can adjust that as well. Yeah, this one is also the create info box, just there to create the box as it says to display your data on the screen. And the update info box as well is just there to update any new data. The draw prediction text is there to draw the prediction text as it says. Draw arrow, it will draw the arrow where the price are, where you have to buy or sell and so on, so that you can see the line on the screen. The show info bar will show any info you have available. The under command is there to under any command send either from from your own MT4 Predict server or via the MT4 Predict server version Python. MT4 Predict server EA, this is the EA, this is expert advisor from here, or from the MT4 Predict server software, independent software. Okay, here you have the status. This one will check the status of what's going on in the app. I will let you know if there's something empty, if something is not right in the bridge, and so on. It will check right too, check and so on. It give you more accurate details about the system. You can see here you have if the command is buy or sell that you receive from the server, then you will proceed by opening the command and so on. If the command is to pause, you will pause. If the command is to resume, it will resume, and so on. So this command can also be integrated with the Telegram system, meaning like you can control this bot if I with Telegram by even if you write on your Telegram chat, you write this word, resume, pause, and execute, and so on. By you will do that directly through your trading system. You will do it directly through your trading system. This is very, very important because you don't want to be on the screen all day long uh, if you're trading, if you are investing, because real trader don't stay with an open position for the whole day. If you are a real trader, you don't stay with any open position at the end of your day. This is not a good practice at all. It's not professional. Um, so another function that I've added here is check exit signal. We got this check exit signal symbol direction and time frame. It would check the direction of the market. It check if the signal is exit. You check. So we use a couple of parameters that I have here to identify what's the current exit, what should I take, what action should I do, or should I take or not. Check entry signal. If the signal is the check entry signal is good, you can initiate and buy or sell action based on what. So this is the most important part of the system. This part, because without it, you won't have the signal to enter or exit the market, meaning the prediction signal. This is also the most important part. If you don't have it, you are not going to be able to manage the JSON that come from the DLL, because the DLL send a JSON string. It doesn't just send a JSON. It just doesn't send a string of character. It send a JSON, and this JSON is managed by this class. This is a class called CJaval. Root is an MQH file of JSON. We manage the JSON on the MT4 platform. So it's there to help us manage data that we receive from external APIs. So as you can see here, it extract the data from the message you receive right there from the string. We extract those data and put use the string that we have here, which is called direction confidence. Use those string, feed them. It will feed those string with value. Next, it get the direction, it get the confidence number, and return the result. Okay. Once it does that, now you know your system is working. You know you can interact with we are interacting with the server, you know everything is working perfectly. So if you don't, I mean something wrong, then you have to contact the developer to fix it, or you do it yourself if you understand what's going on. So it's a very, very critical component. Okay. As I say here, you can see that on the receive message section that I was talking about, I define here the size of 4096. I don't have to do that here. I can even leave this one like that. But here, you need to define the size of my buffer. This is to avoid any further issue that I may have because of the size of the information I want to get. If you want to get something that is too big, then you have to increase that size. Uh, and you can see that here I have to convert the character that I receive from the receive JSON, because receive here is where all the information that when the function is called, because it's a void function, when those functions are called at runtime, they will store all those data inside the receive function, character, inside the receive character array. And this character array has to be converted back to a string so that the older function will be able to transform those string in form of JSON, and extract the data that they receive so that they will be able to interpret it as something that the machine understand. If you don't do that, don't be surprised if your system won't work. So, okay, now you can see here I have a signal message. This is a signal message. On the signal message that I have here is just I've used 4 parameters only for the signal, and you can use as much as 8 characters that you want, or you can define your own one if you want to. If you have access to the source code of the software part, you'll be able to edit those parameters to match your actual preference. Uh, so I've integrated only 4 parameters so that you can use as much as like 4 to 8 like signal. You don't even want to use like handle as I did here, but you have to, because these are defined parameters. If you change them, the system won't be able to recognize them. So it's good that if you want to use up to 8 character, meaning up to 8 signals, um, you just have to come over here and use the actual signal instead of changing the entire parameters like this. Like if you want to use the EMA, you can come here, change this to EMA, and it's EMA, for example, and adjust the parameter as much as you can so that you don't mess up with the internal protocol. You can see here we have a direction up, the trend up, and so on, down, so down. So this one is just there to check the market trend, and check the trend that the AI gave us as a prediction. See which direction it goes. If the market goes with the direction of the prediction AI, so we will follow that direction. If it doesn't, we will change. We change and we are not going to trade. We'll keep doing, we'll skip the signal due to trend mismatch and continue. Um, Now we pass our prediction. We pass the data that we receive inside we pass those data because we extracted them um, and now we handle the trade here. This is where we handle the trade. First of all, we will draw the signal on the ball, draw whatever is happening on the ball, and then we handle the trade right there. So this is pretty much what's going on the app, and then at the end we just update the info that we will see on the screen. This is pretty much what will happen right there. You can see that the project is quite long. We have about only 1,000 and something line of code here, and just this is just a really small part of the whole program, a small aspect of the whole program, the whole system. So I not I'm not counting about what was developed in the bridge, because this one also is huge. You can see this one just like the MT4 bridge, but is an entire software, really big. Uh, so now I'm gonna do a test so that you can see what I'm talking about, because I've been talking a lot now. Uh, so this is a test market. I'm going to test. Uh, but by the way, just give me a second. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Uh, so I'm gonna keep working on this. As I say, going to show you how it works. So our first interaction is to, the first thing to do is to load this one on the chart. But I'm gonna be using the testing mode so that you guys can see. I've already developed the project, so but it's not entirely ready. It's not entirely ready. It works. Uh, Let me launch. So we are using the PyQt5 framework to work on this with nice styling. So this is the project. In fact, this is the MT4 Predict server. We got some comment here that I will keep working on this, but I will develop. Here also has a section for the GPU to manage your GPU, your NVIDIA GPU. So I'm going to start the server. Now the server is running, is running, loading the model. We are loading the data. A ping to receive data. Right now it's ping the broadcast to MT4. It's not ready yet. It's waiting for connection because this is not ready. So I'm going to start my test on the Euro USD. For that, I want to make sure that I actually have the Euro USD here, because here this is a multi-symbol, multi-currency expert advisor. Here you can define the amount you want to daily loss. Specify, for example, like if you reach a loss of maybe you lose more than $100 a day, then you have to stop the expert advisor. You can specify the trailing stop tip. You can define if you want to use the volatility or not. For this test, I don't want to use any volatility. Uh, can define the number of position, the maximum number of position, meaning the maximum number of open position that you want to have, uh, like on one trade or two trades. You define them. You want to define the risk, meaning the amount of risk you want to take on one trade. Let's say 2% of my value, and let's say my stop loss is 600 and so on. Uh, let's say the confidence number. The confidence number here has to be, because for the prediction to be good, it has to be either one, or the one value represent, the confidence value represent the highest probability. So if the probability is one, it means that it's almost certain that it will goes in the direction that the market is saying. Like if it says it goes down and the the confidence level is low, it means that the signal is not really good. For example, if the value of the prediction is between 0.6 or 0.7, the value of the confidence, that should not be considered as a most of the time you shouldn't take it as a true signal, because it just use it as a reference. It's not, it means that the prediction server is not sure about the right direction of the market. So that's why he reply by this type of value. But it's up to you to analyze the market and see what what is the correct spot, where what is the entry point. That's where the knowledge of a trader should come in. should play in this expert advisor. You have to use your skill to analyze the market and join it at the right time. Um, but when it says like it's between 0.9 and 1, then you have good signal. When the confidence level is I mean, you can join the market or say that you can enter the market at that time. You'll be sure that they will go the direction of the market. But has any probability? Nothing is 100% sure. Nothing is really 100% sure because it is just probability. Remember, nothing is 100% sure. It's probability. And so anyone who knows probability understand what I mean by its probability. Uh, the most likely state, the most likely that some event will occur. The most likely state. This is where I'll start the expert advisor I just launched. If you go back on you will see we are starting, waiting for the data, pending data, no connection, waiting, waiting. Now connecting, connection loss. Okay, why do we lose the connection here? Let's see. We want to see what's going on. Maybe there are silly errors, silly mistakes somewhere that is happening. Maybe because I changed the array size. What? Let's see. Okay, so we have an array issue here. This is a kind of error you want to change the size of the buffer somewhere, and I did not put it back, I think. So it was at the receive response. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, change the buffer size here, 1496, and I did not put it back, uh, which is wrong. So let's see now how it works. You see this error was silent, so you have to be mindful of that. Let's see. Now you can see it's working. Uh, the error was silent. It was really, really hard to figure out if I didn't know what I was doing. It was going to be really, really hard to figure out. So here I made mistake again because I'm not using the symbol that I'm actually trading. So I have to adjust that and go back to Euro USD. Is that I'm looking for Euro USD, the Euro USD. Okay, on the Euro USD, uh, the euro against the US dollar, you can see that we have the expert advisor just opened. This is a test. So I'm just testing. And let's go back to the server. You can see that you can see the value that we are getting 0.9. This is good. 0.7 is not good. 0.5 is not good at all, and so on. 0.59 not good. We are waiting for the right signal. If you want the perfect signal, wait to the time where the confidence level will reach 1. if you want to have a perfect signal, is at the time where we have a confidence at rate at 1. Here we are receiving the data of the market. We are receiving everything that we want to receive. We have to receive, and we send that those data are managed by TensorFlow and the Kera. Um, the Kera is responsible to do the training on the data set and return the value of the prediction signal. So we do that as well. The system work is really as smooth as possible. It's really fast, almost no delay. You can see the speed of execution here. And if you go back and take a look of what's really going on here, you can see that I'm receiving data. I'm receiving data here. I'm working on the data received since 2021. It's just some random data there. Also for back testing. You can see how deep he entered the market. He almost lost up there. He covered his position and went there and exit. So it's taking a big risk. You can see right there, enter, full exit. Yeah. So this is a huge earning. With a 5,000 account, I'm at the 5,863. Um, but he also has drawdown. So you have to understand that how the system works and put yourself out of the drawdown zone. So no system is perfect, but you want to have the most efficient system to manage risk and avoid saving behavior of program. So no program, even when you are doing your training, you know that we don't rely 100% on any kind of trading system, 100%. Because machine remain machine, computer remain a computer. They can make mistakes. Even ChatGPT can make mistakes. So be mindful of that. Uh, but once you have a better system, I mean, you are in better shape. It's like you having an edge in the market. So you can see how you manage to keep that position for a long time. But right now he didn't keep it. So if I were a trader at that time when my profit is at this level and the bot do not close the position and I see the market will know uh is about to go up like that and I'm afraid I'll close that position and wait for the new entry point. Because why will you risk losing all the earning? Like right there, you risk all the earning and when you were in profit before, it just make no sense. So this is what the expert advisor is doing. And if you go back on the server, you can see how fast it's working. You are receiving data, receiving, and then in analyze, send signal back, analyzing, signal. These are logs. So these message you are seeing is the instant messages received by the server, written by the server. Those are just logged to notify the user about what's going on in the backend. So when those messages are clean up, anytime that the size of the logs become bigger and bigger, it will be deleted. So no worry about any overload ahead of the computer. Okay. So if you like the content, put your thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you really want to have, if you want to know more about this project, email me. I mean, put your message in the comment section below. That's why I have it there. Uh, you can work on it. I'll be happy to answer you. So I don't want this live stream to be too long. This is a really long and complex project. Just wanted to share this one with you so you understand much better. If I want to use my live account, then this is where the live account will be. I'll feed this section with money and use it in the live market. So this is a platform that actually works. And you can see that I'm getting the data. If you see, well, I'm getting the data. Those data are converted from JSON to string that MT4 can read, and then I send those data back through the server. Those are the data that I send back to the server. You can see here. I just have them there for uh, information purpose so that I know the system work. I can delete them, but it's not going to be useful because I want to understand what's really going on uh, the system without them. So this is the end of this live stream. We did as a review what we've done today. Today we cover about a bit about the system engineering. We cover how we design the system. We understand. Uh, we went over the reason why we decided to choose to go this with this system instead of using a direct buffer using the memory directly. We talked about the MT4 and its inconvenience and why we are leveraging the MT4 platform with our system and why it's now more useful. So if you like the content, please like this channel, subscribe, and we'll be a bit happier to answer also your comment or your question. Bye bye. Good night.